technology. It was all about sound. We had an infrasound experiment. You set it up. We're going to take a look at the early stages. Then you got very excited. Look at this first.
This comes from your theory that spirits perhaps are communicating ultrasonically, and that means sound that's very, very high that we can't actually hear. So what we've done, this laptop is going to play back your voice, and what we've done is recorded your voice saying,
yes,
are there any spirits there? And I'm going to play that now, just at normal level, so you can hear it.
Are there any spirit people here with us now? Please come towards us. Please let us know who you are.
Okay, what we've done with that is called pitch shifting. We've moved it up to the ultrasonic level. So we'll play it. You can't actually hear it. Okay, so I'm going to play it now. You can't hear it, but hopefully the spirits can hear it and respond. But we've got this bat box here which is converting the sound so we can hear your voice, albeit in a rather odd way.
This house, this building, please come towards us.
So that's what ultrasonically, that's what they could be hearing, but we can't hear it with our ears.
Exactly. The reason why I came down, because obviously I've been upstairs monitoring, is because I heard a click on the bat box. I was constantly monitoring. Then cut and pitch shifted it down, and I got a
fabulous,
like a whisper sound that you can't hear, but you have to pitch shift it down. So we got some sort of response
on the pitch. Oh, fantastic!
On the sound experiment upstairs.
Oh gosh, so okay. Sorry, I won't get too excited yet.
So there you are, as close as you ever get to excited, but we didn't get time last night to hear what got you going like that. We can hear it now. This is what Kieran heard after or during last night's experiment. Listen up. Sounded like an exhalation or something, a groan, a growl. What the dickens was that?
There are two parts, just to clarify. The end part where you see it's lots of green, and it does sound like an exhalation. And also, a little bit earlier on, I don't know if you can hear it because it's not very clear, you heard what sounded like some sort of whispering, some sort of talking.
A lot of people at home, interestingly, got in touch to say they heard a gurgling noise during that. At that time. So,
right, so
that ties in, you know?
It might be related to that. Remember, there was, you know, at least an hour or so of sound to go through, so I'm still analysing it, but these were definitely the highlights.
And we will hear more from you on that, I'm sure. Yvette and Carl are standing by to talk to us. They're heading to tonight's location. Let's go first now very quickly to John from Barnstable in North Devon with a question for Kieran. Good evening, John. What's your question for Kieran? Quick as you can, please, matey.
Okay, good evening. Kieran, how do you think the experiment aid improving the team's experience?
Thanks for that question, John. Yeah, great. I think the experiments improved because the team's experience is subjective. We've got no way of measuring them, but at least with the experiments, like the sound thing, like EMF measurement, that sort of thing, we've got a verifiable measure of what's going on. We've got objective measure, and essentially we're saying that the machines can't be wrong, but people could always make their own human error, so it's kind of a backup.
Thank you for that, John. Keep watching. What's in store for us tonight, Kieran, on the parapsychological front?
Well, we've got, again, it's an ultrasound experiment, another ultrasound experiment, and I'm going to be playing 5 key words on a loop. Hopefully the spirits will pick that up, and hopefully it'll come out on a Ouija board. The key thing is, it's very controlled. I'm the only person that knows the 5 words. None of the team know, and when they're broadcast, the rest of the audience will actually see the words. So it's very controlled.
So people at home will see those 5 words on the screen. Yvette and nobody else on the team apart from you know these 5 words that are going out in ultrasound.
Yeah.
It's going to be a fantastic experiment for tonight. Thank you for the moment, Kieran, and Julian's back, of course, with us throughout the evening. I think we can now talk. They're travelling to tonight's visual location to Yvette Fielding and Carl Beattie. Give them a round of applause, folks. Their show. Okay, Yvette and Carl, good evening. How are you feeling and where are you heading for? Good evening.
Hello, Paul. How are you?
Fine, thanks. Where are you heading for and how are you feeling, Yvette?
We're heading towards, I don't know if I can say where exactly. Can I say where we're heading? not yet, a Carl's saying to me. I can't really divulge, but it's out of the way. It's about sort of 25-minute drive from the Morecambe Winter Gardens. I actually haven't even been here. Normally, sometimes I will go on the recce's, and so will Carl, but we've not actually been to this location. I'm aware of some of the stories connected with this place, so obviously I can't say anything else because I've got Chris Conway sat next to me. So we're really, excited, raring to go, and it's saying to me today, someone's got a funny feeling about tonight. Quite a few people have been saying that they're a little bit worried about tonight, and that always sort of worries me a little bit as well. So I think, well, why are they feeling like that, So I'm excited, but at the same time, a little bit worried.
Okay, well, stay safe, Yvette, and we're glad that Carl's recovered from that nasty scrape he had yesterday. We'll be touching base with you, of course, throughout the show. It's Yvette's Vigil and the team, and we're going to see that launched in about 45 minutes. Thank you for the moment, Yvette.
Bye.
And, of course, bye-bye, everyone. Bye-bye. Safe journey. Wow, now, of course, Yvette and the team have been busy since we were last with you live in January for Most Haunted Live. They've been to Venice, and Yvette went there with somebody very special indeed for a 2-night investigation. You can see on Living November the 7th, November the 8th. It's Yvette Fielding, Paul O'Grady. It's Death in Venice. Here's a sneaky preview.
When Yvette Fielding, Britain's premier ghost hunter, asked Paul O'Grady to join her on a search for paranormal activity, he leapt at the chance. In this 2-part special, Yvette and Paul travel to Venice and uncover its dark and gruesome history as they search for evidence of life after death.
Sounds like someone's down underneath.
That's as I have got the creeps.
How many fingers am I holding up? Can you knock that for me, please?
The Orphans Canal, where many hundreds were put to death and many more bodies were simply dumped.
There are thousands of bodies below us.
Can you give us, just because we're silly mortals, a really big bang?
We're on a bloody boat in the middle of bloody nowhere.
It's hard, isn't it?
And we're getting this tapping.
So that's the date, write it down, November the 7th, November the 8th, on Living, Death in Venice with Yvette and Paul. This is Most Haunted Live, live from the Morecambe Winter Gardens. Yvette and the team are heading for the Vigil location. We're going to be back right after this with more of your calls, your insights, and more thrills and chills from Most Haunted Live after this. Welcome back to Most Haunted Live, and we have based ourselves here in the northwest of England on the Lancashire coast in the once majestic, still imposing but now crumbling and disused Winter Gardens Theatre in Morecambe. And this is the 4th of an unprecedented 8-night investigation. We are in quest of 8 faces of evil. Night 1 we encountered the beast, then it was the butcher. Last night a blood-soaked murderer made himself known to the team. Tonight, who knows? Stay with us, though, until midnight, because one thing is for sure, it is going to be a thrilling ride of paranormal investigation and a fantastic night, and we need you to help us, to be our eyes and ears. How you can help? Here's Julian Clegg with more.
Thank you very much indeed, Paul. Yes, 8 nights, 8 faces of evil, and 8 webcams again tonight. More on that a little bit later on the show. This is always an interesting hour because you're predicting already what you think will happen tonight. Darren from Leeds says, watch out for a yellow feather this evening, maybe a crest with feathers or on a woman's brooch. Also something tonight, won't take kindly to men with facial hair. Interesting. Jez, Helen, Wendy and Stephen Salisbury say good luck to the team. Kieran especially, they think, will have a bumpy ride this evening. I wonder, we'll find out a little bit later on. Now, we want you to get in touch. This is how it works. You can text me, text the word screen and then a space and then your message and citing to 80889. The text costs 50p plus 1 text message at a standard rate. You must be 18 or over. And don't forget to say who you are and where you're from when you get in touch. And the website, mosthauntedlive.net. And more messages as the evening goes on. And Debbie joining me from our interactive team. Debbie, good to see you.
You too.
And once again last night, fantastic response. In fact, one of the biggest responses ever on sightings.
It's been amazing. 12,500 sightings last night. So that brings us to nearly 30,000 in the last 3 days. We've had loads of messages about your shirt already. I have to say, the viewers are saying, when's he going to wear the black and red shirt? And so you're not disappointing tonight. And it matches the wallpaper. So I'm loving it tonight.
Right, good.
But no, last night was amazing. We had some really interesting messages